PWHL's Takeover Tour is underway, making its first stop here in the Emerald City. Seattle, Washington has a long history as a hockey town, and fans are eager to get inside Climate Pledge Arena to watch some of the best players in the world face off here today. It's the Boston Fleet and the Montreal Victoire, and it all starts now with the Takeover Tour Part 1. The home of the newest NHL franchise, the Seattle Kraken, is making way for the women today. The Boston Fleet have set sail to the opposite coast of America, looking to stop the hottest team in the game right now, with the Montreal Victoire riding a 4-game win streak.
These two teams have had opposite seasons so far. Montreal is looking for their 5th straight win, but a big loss for them today will be the fact that Catherine Dubois has been suspended for a hit on Megan Keller, and Boston actually has a suspension as well. Kelly Babstock has been suspended 1 game. And as for Boston, they just played Minnesota this past Thursday and fell 4-3. They're now on a 3-game slide, and the biggest storyline for them has been, can they get pucks in the net? One thing that has been very good for Boston has been Hillary Knight. She's been on an absolute tear, 7 points this season. Hopefully she can spark some of her teammates. Ladies,
we shall see. Thank you, Chantel. Check in with you in a bit. The puck is down and the game is on. Here we go. Takeover Tour Part 1 from Seattle, Washington. Boston tries to play it ahead.
Well, interesting that what they need is goal scoring, but they have been looking at their breakout.
Dangerous pass attempt right there. Montreal picks up the loose puck, and they'll break out. Poulin tried to center the puck. It was taken away by Hannah Bilka. She's off to the races. Catching up with her is Anna Wilgren, one of the rookies for the Victoire. Yeah, Boston's scoring struggles were really the story of most of the season last year. Had a league-low 50 goals in the 24 games last season. Ended up not mattering much in the playoffs as they ended up going all the way to Game 5 of the finals.
Well, and I think one of the things Boston does well is they keep pucks out of their net. And that would be courtesy in large part to Erin Frankel. She's just been superb and through playoffs, too. And you look at that first round of playoffs against Montreal, and she was just fantastic. She faced 145 shots in 3 games.
And the other goalie on the opposite end of the ice, Anne-Renee Desvienne, who decides to freeze that puck. And, I mean, talk about elite goaltenders. These are probably the starters for Team Canada and Team USA in next year's Olympics.
Yeah, if you want to look forward to that or even to the World Championships coming up this year, those are likely your 2 starters that you could potentially see in a gold medal game. It's not a foregone conclusion anymore. You see some of the talent from the other countries here in this league.
Boston wins the draw. Jamie Lee Rattray lost it momentarily. Now rings it around the boards, just out of the reach of Sydney Morin. She'll hustle back to the opposite end of the ice.
Jennifer Gardner getting in on that first forecheck, and she's got some speed. It's a rookie you need to watch out for.
Turnover here, and Jamie Lee Rattray tries to make something happen. Mariah Keppel says no, and a save right into the breadbasket of Davian.
Well, that's 2 so far for Montreal, and that might be what Boston is trying to capitalize on, is to create those turnovers. You see right there, just Gardner fans on that puck, and it's Rattray coming in looking for the opportunity. Rattray with just 1 goal, but that 1 goal was a beauty.
It sure was. Mariah Keppel will calmly send it across to her D partner, Erin Ambrose. She had it taken away as Alina Mueller tried to drive toward the net. She's somebody the Fleet would love to see get going. She led this team in scoring last year with 16 points and somehow has none this year. Courtney Kessel saying before the game that she's definitely aware of that, and it's something that she thinks she's feeling pressure or putting maybe too much pressure on herself.
Well, it's hard when you're a goal scorer and you're not putting pucks in the net. And the longest she went last season was 4 games without a goal, without a point. And she's been 6 so far to start this year. So you know that's in her head. And she's got to find a way. And sometimes you get a greasy one, and that gets you started.
Shelvin will bring it around the boards now for the Victoire. Claire Dalton trying to break out. Bothered by Keller. Puck comes over to Lexi Agia, who sends it back for Keller. Tries a stretch pass, but it was out of the reach, and Tabin will pick it up.
And that's Boston trying to get the puck moving north quickly. Like I said, it was an area of focus in their practices leading into these games. Is their breakout, quick retrievals, and move the puck north. Get on the attack.
Sometimes when you can break out like that, it does lead to quick chances. Odd player rushes, etc. Let's take a look at our players to watch, presented by Woody Creek Distillers, proud founding partner of the PWHL. Susanna Toppany has your attention.
Oh, absolutely, she does. And you go back to the game against Minnesota, Boston, who forced overtime, did not win that game, but it was Toppany with 2 goals in 49 seconds to tie that one up. She's been a bit of a force for this team, a team, again, that needs scoring, and she's provided that.
They do need scoring, and Courtney Kessel telling us before the game they need secondary scoring too, because while it's great that Toppany has 3 goals, Hillary Knight has 4 goals, the 2 of them have combined for nearly half of Boston's total goals this season. Keller had a 2-goal game herself earlier this season as Boston wins the draw in the D zone. They'll play it out to neutral ice, and it's the rookie Anna Wilgren sending it ahead. Now Poulin gains the zone. Tried to center and had Lena Ljungblom just out of her reach. Boreen trying to play it the other way for Montreal, picked up by Brown. That one found the pads of Davian. Abby Boreen sends it deep into the corner, and she'll go to the bench for a change. Jennifer Gardner goes behind the net. Poulin tried to find Ambrose. Emma Greco sends it up now for Boston. Jamie Lee Rattray looking for help, tries to make a move. Mariah Keppel gets in her way.
Well, it's a solid one-on-one. Rattray had no reinforcements. She took a look over her shoulder to see. She didn't have any, so she decided to try to take Keppel on one-on-one.
Greco now battling for possession for Boston. Laura Stacey with her in the corners. Now Kristen O'Neill sends it low once more for Stacey. There's Gardner, the rookie from Montreal. Beautiful pass. Below the goal line, now it's Stacey. Tried to get a shot off and could not. O'Neill trying to keep this play alive for the Victoire. Cut off. It's Rattray. Checks over her shoulder, skates it in, takes a shot, kicked out by Davian. Now Dalton looking to break out for Montreal. Pesheva keeps it alive. Gaining the zone for Boston once more. Shirley tried to feed, and another save for Davian. Wow, Shea Maloney was right there with a grade A look. Davian had it.
Boston with a couple chances now off of turnovers. Here's one, and Rattray is off to the races. Now they keep her outside. She again takes that look over her shoulder. She's got nothing. Releases that shot from the outside, of course, but that's coming off a turnover. And Sophie Shirley on this one, another player they'd like to get going. She makes that original play. Maloney with the shot. Davian, what a save.
Puck comes out to the neutral zone. Boston will have to set up once more. Turnover at neutral ice. Claire Dalton working in. Went off a skate. Sophie Shirley picks it up. She's got Mueller. One-on-one with Tabin. Mueller takes a shot. Fought off by Davian. Keller scoops it up. Banks it off the boards. Agia trying to fight through a check by Sheldon. Up high for Brown. She slings it across. That shot high and over the cage. Turnover here. Emily Brown getting in the way, and we are going to get a call.
And that's a good job by Maureen Murphy. She recognizes there's a loose puck, tries to get around Brown. Brown's got no choice but to step in front of her and draw that penalty. You're going to see Montreal's power play go to work, and a power play that's had a few struggles.
Number 2
to put it mildly.
2-minute minor for a trip.
Call that one a trip. You could have called it an interference as well. Either way, you're going to the penalty box for 2 minutes. Montreal is going to go to the power play.
And you mentioned those power play struggles. In fact, they've gone 19 straight power play opportunities without cashing in. Haven't scored since their opening game.
That's a pretty impressive stat for a team with this many power play specialists.
Poulin gets it back on the left side. Up high for Kayla Barnes. Back to Poulin. Poulin goes down low for Stacey. Poulin off her backhand, over to Barnes. Now over to Gardner. Gardner takes a look. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Paper towel just bounced wide of the net. Poulin again. Kayla Barnes tried to find Laura Stacey net front. Deflected just wide of the cage. Gardner across for Poulin. Poulin over to Youngbloom. Back for Gardner. Gardner now to Barnes. Gardner from the top of the slot, just wide, and a rebound, they score! Laura Stacey buries the rebound, and the Victoire score first.
Well, this is exactly what you expect from this power play and what hasn't been happening. Now, Laura Stacey has been moved off the flank and to net front. That happened last game, and you can see exactly why. She is just a force down low. She's big, she's tall, she's getting in front of the goaltender's eyes, and Montreal is just trying to throw pucks to the net. They know she's there. They know she's going to get sticks on pucks, and she finds this one and buries it. Absolutely makes no mistake. Then you watch her out front again, and it's her movement, getting in front of Frankel, getting her stick free, ready for those tips and those deflections. She finds out the puck.
That initial shot hard enough. They end up using the lively end boards to their advantage.
And new rink too. Sometimes you get on for your pregame skate, which they wouldn't have had this morning, but a skate yesterday, and you try to check out those boards and see what kind of bounce you're going to get.
Susanna Tapani will now try to gain the zone for Boston. They're in offside. But what a start for the Victoire. Not just the first goal, but a power play goal at that. It is 1-0 here in Seattle as the Takeover Tour begins. Victoire win the draw. Erin Ambrose sends it deep. A heavy hit. Picked up by Grant Mentis. Couldn't get the shot off. It was blocked by Agia. Greco sends it up the other way. The physicality you mentioned starting to show itself here.
Well, I'd say the last game between these two teams, it was more than physicality. It was very chippy. You could see tempers flaring. Frustrations were coming out.
What Courtney Kessel say? I feel like every time we play Montreal, it's chippy, it's physical.
You always have teams like that where you get under each other's skin, and I would say it was even more than that for Boston last game. There was frustrations. They weren't playing well. The game was not going their way at all.
Poulin slings it across for Youngbloom. Tried to go back to Poulin, out of her reach. And let's remember that Boston swept Montreal in the semifinals last year. All 3 games needed overtime to decide. These two teams have loved to hate each other at this point.
Well, nothing builds a rivalry more than that. We asked both coaches how much that's in their minds, and they tried to claim that it wasn't, but I think the players that were there certainly remember.
Abby Boreen now working in for the Victoire. Had it blocked on the way. Hillary Knight will settle things down now for the Fleet. And most of these players were there. Boston returning more players than any PWHL team in the league. If you're just joining us, Laura Stacey, who has the puck currently, scored the first goal of this game on the power play. A much needed power play goal for a team that hadn't scored on the advantage since its opener.
Well, and a power play that's got the #1 expected goals in the league. So they've been getting their chances all season. It just hasn't been dropping for them.
And that's the benefit of all this technology we have now in these advanced stats. It allows Corey Chevry, as a Gia, centering pass. Gerard tried the shot.
Who knew that? 1917 Stanley Cup champs.
Not a lot of us were alive to remember that, but certainly interesting when you see those photos and the gear, right? The difference in what hockey looked like then versus today.
I'll tell you what, it's what it looked like, what it felt like. The skates were so heavy. I don't know how they moved.
I don't know how they stayed safe. No helmets.
The sticks were a big piece of lumber. I don't think they shot the puck nearly like they do today.
That's true. That's true. Certainly not like these ladies shoot the puck today. Battle along the boards, lengthy, eventually won by Montreal. We're seeing the heaviness and that style these two teams like to play start to take effect. Toppany trying to break out. It's picked up by O'Neill. O'Neill has Boreen with her. Boreen shoots and scores! Abby Boreen making it 2-0 on a beautiful shot.
Well, what an addition to this team has been Abby Boreen. She has been a force, but this is a beautiful play. They do a great job along the wall, but it's a beautiful play from O'Neill just to touch it. Good work along the wall. Laura Stacey breaks her stick in the corner. O'Neill's on her backhand, so she recognizes this is a better play. Touches it over to Boreen. Changes the angle just a little bit for Frankel, so she's got to readjust and move. Boreen rips it past her.
Boreen leads the Victoire with 5 points now. That's her 3rd goal of the season. And you mentioned just such a great addition by the Victoire. She actually played for PWHL Minnesota just last year, but then re-entered the draft this year because she had no contract. So she was selected 17th overall this year and has certainly made her mark early. How about that? Glenn getting up after being taken down. Looks to be okay as play continues.
Well, there's the beauty of Poulin and her athleticism, what she can do. Falling down still makes the play.
Incredible. That shot turned aside by Debian. Schaafsal got a good look, but Debian was up to the task. Ljungblom looking to break out for the Victoire. Sends it over to Boreen.
It's a great step up in the neutral zone, both by Schaafsal and by Keller, to create that turnover.
And that previous goal also started with a turnover. Dara Gregg looking for a lane. Waits for the Victoire to fully change, and that shot steered aside by Frankel. A dangerous shot that went toward the net. Deflected wide, but kept alive by Grant Mentis.
And this is another really nice shift from that 4th line for Montreal. They get on the ice, they've had offensive zone time, they've been able to hem Boston in, and that's exactly the kind of shift that you want from your 4th line. But we go back to that goal, and it was the work along the boards, the work down low, that created the turnover that allowed O'Neill to walk out and then just chip this puck over to Boreen for the shot.
Angle, my goodness, it looked like she was just barely catching up to the puck. Somehow able to get enough on it that she beats Erin Frankel. At an incredibly tough angle.
And it's that little puck movement. It's that 3-foot pass. And what that does is make your goalie readjust. And so that little bit that Frankel has to readjust, that allows for the opening that Boreen took advantage of.
Kayla Barnes sends it over to LaBelle. LaBelle bumped off the puck momentarily by Shea Maloney. Still able to get it down low for Dalton. They jam away. Maureen Murphy has 2 Fleet members trying to take it away. Murphy comes away with it, tried to get a shot up, but it was sealed off. Keller banks it along the boards. Back come the Victoire. Putting the pressure on now. Barnes with a beautiful pass. Oh my goodness. Murphy sends it over the top of the net. But Kayla Barnes showing, what did Corey Chevry call it? That deceptiveness? Is that a word? Deceit? She called her deceptive.
Subtly deceptive, I believe, were her exact.
Yes.
I think they knew exactly what they were getting with her. It's hard to call her a rookie with the years she's had with the national team, but a huge addition.
Ljungblom, a great addition as well. Tried to center for Boreen, taken away by Knight. Back comes Mueller. Gains his own with speed, has Bilka with her. Knight off her backhand. Blocked on the way.
Nice defensive play by Erin Ambrose. Offensive defender, but she brings that 200-foot game.
The reigning PWHL Defender of the Year, Erin Ambrose.
Well, and that's the addition of Kayla Barnes. Takes some of the heat off of Ambrose and some of the ice time as well. You go back to playoffs and the amount of ice that she played, 60 minutes in the one game. It was a triple overtime game, but boy, that's a lot.
Gonna feel that one. Laura Stacey tries the short side. Erin Frankel was up to the task. And the horn sounds on period number 1. 2-0 Montreal Victoire over the Fleet. Stay right here Takeover Tour. And we are ready to go for the middle frame. Same two lines that began this game will begin this period. Kayla Barnes collects the puck and a turnover now. Boston trying to create some offense. Hillary Knight goes to work in the corner. Tried to hand it off for Toppany. A little miscommunication, and Abby Boreen is there to take it. Now Montreal will try to break out. Boreen tried to center. Hannah Bilka disrupted the pass. Anna Wilgren sending it ahead. Montreal riding a 4-game winning streak.
Finding ways to score 5-on-5, and that's a harder way to score usually. So 5-on-5 goals. Montreal's never had a problem with that.
Mariah Keppel will send it deep now for the Victoire as they go for a partial change. Boston mired in a heck of a stretch. They're actually on the road for 17 days straight. Turnover, Kristen O'Neill banned on the shot. Another opportunity for Stacey. She sends it high and off the glass.
This is a difficulty when you're having struggles getting out of your zone and then you try to go through the middle. You're going to go through the middle of your zone. You better be awfully sure there's a safe route out.
Dangerous for Boston, to be sure. Hannah Brandt now sends it ahead for Rattray. And we get a whistle. Now a chance short side, kicked out by Davian. Good look for Alina Mueller, who, as we mentioned earlier, is still looking to get her first goal of the season.
And there's maybe the start, is taking those shots, taking them from anywhere. And that one looked like she maybe was going to catch Davian coming off the post.
Definitely a good look for Mueller, who led this team with 16 points last year in 24 games. Sophie Shirley working in, looking to pass. Katie Taven scoops up the loose puck, but a turnover created by the Fleet. Taven gets it back. And once again, a turnover. This time it's Gerard wreaking havoc for the Fleet. Montreal having a very hard time breaking out of their zone. Pelkey takes a shot, steered aside by Davian. Montreal still trying to break out. Good zone time for Boston if they can possess the puck.
Seems to be the name of the game right now, and whoever capitalizes more on the turnovers is likely going to take this one because they're happening both sides.
Montreal will finally break out of its own end. LaBelle flips it in and heads to the bench for a change.
And both teams trying to go up the wall, and the wall's not there, so it's either finding the middle or starting to chip pucks into the neutral zone.
Here comes Susanna Toppany, gains the zone with speed, stops up, waits for her teammates to join her. Fleet in the midst of a change as Toppany gained the zone. Now Hillary Knight locked in the battle down low. Knight has Bilka with her. Wilgren fighting for possession for Montreal, but Keller holds the zone. Bilka feeds Sydney Bard up high. Now across for Keller. Keller back to Bilka. Lost it momentarily, gets it back, flings it through the crease. Hillary Knight from the circle takes a shot, saved by Davian. Toppany centering pass for Knight, right in front. Wilgren was there. And it's a 2-on-1 now for the Victoire. Poulin. Boreen looking for her second of the day. It deflected just wide. Boreen trying to get it back, but the Fleet take it away. End-to-end action, Becky.
Well, in the Fleet with the bulk of the play and some good offensive zone time, but then turn around and give up a 3-on-2.
Hillary Knight with a goal in back-to-back games. Already 4 on the season. The only player in the league with more is Alex Carpenter of New York.
Well, and how good has Carpenter been playing on a line with Fillier? That New York line is dynamite.
Definitely the most dynamic duo so far this season. That shot hit a couple bodies in front. The Sirens with a brilliant 5-0 performance yesterday in Minnesota. What a difference a year can make. Now a chance for Chancel. Hit off the skate of Erin Ambrose. Boston tries to keep it alive, but Keppel takes it away. Pulls the reverse over to Ambrose. Lost it. Jamie Lee Rattray will pick it up. Turnover by Rattray, and Stacy takes advantage.
Not just the turnovers right now, and Boston's forecheck has Montreal stymied. They cannot get out of the zone.
Another turnover created by Shea Maloney. You're right, the Fleet have come with some fire here in the second period.
Well, and this is what they need, the zone time. Another of those advanced statistics where they're last in the league in terms of offensive zone time. They start to get this.
Shirley tried to center. Gardner was there to take it away for the victoire. Boston doing a lot of things right, but just unable to connect enough, and a shot right there had to be fought off by Frankel. Now the victoire loading up. Sheldon with a big chance. Derek Gregg tries to keep possession. Banks it along the boards, up for Sheldon once more. Sheldon from distance, fought off by Frankel. Good shift for this line for Montreal.
Once again, you're looking at their fourth line having another good shift. And Corey Jeffrey's got to be really happy with that. She puts them on the ice. They get offensive zone shifts. They get out of the zone. They got a scoring chance off of a good quick breakout.
Alina Mueller, stick handling in for Boston. Tried to center. Instead, Derek Gregg, still on the ice for Montreal, sends it deep and goes for a change. Nearly 7 minutes gone here in the second period. Montreal enjoying a 2-0 lead they built in the first. Sydney Bard slings it down low. Claire Dalton will send it into the corner as Montreal looks to keep the pressure on. Streaking toward the net was Maureen Murphy. Susanna Toppany will take it away. Murphy gets it back. I mentioned earlier, Boston in the midst of a 17-day road trip. This, as we get a whistle here, we're going to get a penalty.
Well, Megan Keller draws this one, which is going to send them to the power play. But the best chance in a little while has been Michaela Grant-Mentis, the fourth line, looking to get on the board. Maureen Murphy to the box on an interference call. This is going to give Boston an opportunity maybe to get back in this game. Still down by 2. On play against Megan Keller, just steps in front of Keller. Impedes her progress, takes her down. And Boston back to the power play. And talked about how good their power play has been, but how much they've struggled when they played against Montreal.
This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. And an early clear for Montreal.
Now, just what you want is to get that puck down the ice. Now, Montreal opting not to make any changes. It's tougher in the second period, but you see sometimes now with the new rules that they get a puck down and they are changing right away.
And one of those new rules you're mentioning is the no escape rule, which means that similar to icing, when a penalty is called, the player on the guilty team, those players have to stay on the ice, so they're more tired.
More tired and the wrong personnel a lot of times.
Bilka across for Keller, her drive. Didn't miss by much. Keller will pick it up in the neutral zone and try to set up once more.
And Keller just looking to find that nice low shot in. And head up, nice low wrister. One of the things that she's so good at is finding a lane for those shots.
Megan Keller, the 2-time Olympian, 5-time World Championship gold medalist. Actually tied Mueller for the team lead with 11 assists last year. So you're right, certainly a big part of Boston's overall offense. Pesheva from the circle goes back up top for Morin. Cross for Mueller. Morin hands out for Pesheva, winds up, and what a block by Mariah Keppel. That hurt just looking at it, but a big block for her team. Back comes Mueller. Agia banks it along the boards, but nobody home, so the puck comes all the way out to neutral ice. Mueller will send it in, and Keppel picks it up. Another quick clear for Montreal.
That's a couple nice plays from Mariah Keppel on that penalty kill and getting out, getting in front of shots. putting that puck down the ice and giving her team the change.
Rattray had it taken away by Poulin. Poulin knocks down Hannah Brandt, turns it up the other direction. Claire Dalton now gains the zone. And we're back to full strength.
That's a good penalty kill from Montreal, not giving Boston a lot of zone time. They weren't able to really get set up and get anything generated.
Yeah, no shots on that power play for the Fleet.
And I think this is where you start to see some of the frustration. So Boston just staying within their game.
3 straight losses for the Fleet. They did get 1 point in an overtime loss. Courtney Kessel liked the fact that her team showed some resiliency to fight back from a 3-1 deficit and force that extra session, but still not the final result they're looking for.
Yeah, that was a great battle back for her team. And you know, when you're in one of those holes, sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. You get into a deficit and to come back like that. So yeah, she's really happy with the way they played. It was a much better game for them, just in terms of how they played, and then also the battle back. It was Montreal doing a really good job on this PK. You want to be a penalty killer? Oh. You got to sacrifice your body.
Ouch! Right off the kneecap.
Mariah Keppel gets out and takes that one. And you got to earn your ice time. And sometimes for a lot of players, that's getting themselves onto the penalty kill. Penalty kill, you got to be gritty.
Well, Mariah Keppel is that. The camp invite last year ended up making the team and then signed a 1-year extension to stay with Montreal. Has certainly become an important part of this team. Known mostly for her defense, but she did finally score her first PWHL goal on December 28th against Minnesota in her 29th PWHL game.
And sometimes you got some offensive defenders. What you need is that complement. Someone like a Keppel who can stay back. You can trust them back there. They're going to break pucks out, going to play solid defensively. Let the offensive players do their thing.
Offensive players like Laura Stacey takes it behind her goal to set things up for the victoire. Megan Keller across for Pelkey. Pelkey back to Keller. Keller goes down low for Brandt. Keller trades places with Amanda Pelkey. Pelkey down low. Toppany. Nothing there on the short side. Goes back. Now Keller across for Pelkey. She scores!
And that's just a beautiful shot. And for Hannah Bilka, that one has to feel good. That's her second goal of the season. The first one's also power play. She just snipes this one from the flank. Catches Davian out. They move that puck high to low. And then east to west, right away from Keller. That one's on the tape. Bilka's able to load up one time, that one into the net. Davian's not able to get back and make the save. And so, of course, it's her second power play goal. Now, the first one she scored went to review, so it's a little anticlimactic, right? First ever career goal. That one's a nice one.
That one was a no-doubter. And it gives the Fleet life after countless opportunities that they were unable to cash in on. Now they are right back in this game.
Of course, they're still on the power play, too.
Good point. They'll line up in the neutral zone as Shea Maloney out to take the face-off, wins it against Maureen Murphy. Emily Brown spins off a defender. Mueller slides it across to Maloney. Maloney tried to make a little move. Had it taken away by Tabin. Maureen Murphy will lead the charge. Grant Mentis trying to get around Morin and does so. They'll battle it out in the corner. Now it comes high to Tabin. Grant Mentis sends it the length of the ice.
That's a smart decision at the bench. Both players let the puck go. They got off the ice quickly, but this is, again, should be about puck possession. Both teams are struggling to put a couple passes together and generate any offense on the drive.
Here comes Marie-Philippe Poulin. Working in, gains the zone. Up high now for Kayla Barnes. Back to Poulin. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Poulin over to Youngbloom. Kayla Barnes able to hold for Montreal momentarily, but now Hannah Brandt sends it the other direction. 30 seconds to go on the Victoire power play. They do have one power play goal already here today. Poulin over to Gardner. Had it bank off the stick. Loose puck bouncing in the slot momentarily. Poulin holds the zone. Barnes thought about a shot, feeds Poulin instead. Poulin shoots off the post. How did that stay out?
Wow, I'm not sure how that one stayed out either. Poulin with a beautiful shot. Head up, finds that far post. You can see her looking, trying to feed this one hard for Stacy right in front. Hard for Frankel to see that puck as it comes in because Stacy is right in her vision. Frankel's looking off on the right side of Stacy. This shot goes to the left side, so again, a very difficult save. And Poulin with the wherewithal to know what side of the goaltender to shoot that puck on.
And how about Emma Greco? If we get a chance to see that again from the overhead, Greco was the one that was able to save it at the last second after it banked off another body. Incredible effort and a little bit of luck for the Boston Fleet to keep this game 2-1.
Sometimes that's exactly what you need to dig yourself out of a hole, is a little bit of luck.
Boston feeling a little bit of jam now as Toppany will send it deep. Knight trying to work through two defenders. Toppany has it taken away, and it's Taven now trying to send it up for Montreal. Bard slings one toward the net. Back and forth we go with 4 minutes to play here in the second period. A power play goal for the Victoire, a 5-on-3 goal for the Fleet. Icing the call. Battle for possession, Alina Mueller. Takes a lap around the net, a shot. It bounces up on top of the net and over. Oh boy, the Fleet are getting their chances.
Well, that's Alina Mueller off a set face-off play and just stays out of the cage. She's got to be wondering what she's got to do.
Still looking for her first point of this season. Has been snake bitten to say the least. That one off the top of the net. Are you kidding me? Down low for Shirley. She feeds Brown, who sends it the other way. Kayla Grant-Mentis will break out for Montreal as Mueller catches up to the loose puck. Finds Morin. The ice started to shift in favor of Montreal, but now Boston is making a push.
I think that first goal gave them a little bit of life, and now they're feeling it a bit. And again, a couple of good chances either way.
Agia has it below the goal line. She'll skate it out. Looking for a lane, goes down low. Centering pass, nobody home. LaBelle will find Abby Boreen. She tried to send it toward the net. A good play by Peshova. Now 2 minutes to go here in the second. Boston would love to tie this up heading into the room. Hannah Brandt gains the zone, but it goes off Abby Boreen. Good job by Keller to still hold the zone for the Fleet. Teresa Schaffsall working in now for Boston. Takes a shot off the stick of Mariah Keppel.
Boston doing a good job in the neutral zone, creating turnovers right now, stepping up. Their D are active, stepping up and just throwing pucks back in, continuing to put the pressure on.
They've brought hockey excitement back to the Pacific Northwest. Susanna Toppany had it. Couldn't get a shot off.
Great look by Megan Keller to see that cross-ice pass to Tapani. She just couldn't get the one touch on it.
Heavy hit laid by Laura Stacey, and now Campbell finds iron unkind. Make it Kayla Barnes, but my goodness, 2 posts for the victoire.
That one was a rocket.
What a blast for the rookie defender. You said it earlier, but it's hard to call her a rookie with her resume.
Well, there's a few in this league, her and Fillier, and you know, they're rookies, but their experience.
They've been on the international stage, they've won medals. But it is different, as that one didn't miss by much. Tapani certainly had her chances today as well.
Well, she's a player right now they rely on for scoring, again with the 2 goals against Minnesota. And she starts to utilize her speed. She's on that line with Bilka and Knight, so the expectation would be that they produce.
Knight and Tapani have combined to score 7 goals, but again, it's that secondary scoring that the Fleet have been missing. This is the heavy hit. Ooh.
Well, this one is, and that's a big hit to create the separation, and then it's O'Neill that brings that puck into the zone, and then that touch pass back. Barnes is able to walk in and tee this one up off the crossbar. Another glorious chance for Montreal. It seems like Montreal, whenever they give up a chance at one end, they're able to capitalize, come back down, and get another great chance at the other.
Well, would you say that is a trickle-down effect from their captain, Marie-Philippe Poulin? She seems to elevate her game whenever the stakes get a little higher.
Oh, does she ever? And again, against Boston last game, the more the game got physical, the more it got chippy, the better she played. And you've seen that throughout her whole career. As the chips are down, you know she's a player that's going to show up.
What a game so far, 2-1 Montreal after 2. We'll be right back. First things first, they've got a 3rd period and a 1-goal deficit they're staring down right now. Shots are just about even. Montreal with a bit of a lead, 15-13 after 2 periods of play. And here we go with the 3rd. Kayla Barnes slings it across the ice. Megan Keller will bring it around the boards to her knee partner. Kessel is shaking up the lines a bit, at least in terms of defense. Keller now playing with Bard on the blue line. That shot steered aside by Frankel.
Keller and Bard have some familiarity. They started the season together, played a lot of games together.
Face-off won by the Victoire as Laura Stacey sends it into the zone. Montreal riding a 4-game winning streak, longest in their history. Looking to make it 5 in a row.
And they're just getting pucks in deep right now. Everything's been dumped in, and they're trying to establish that forecheck.
Gardner gloves it down to herself, trying to keep it alive from her knees. She'll get back up, but the puck comes out to center ice.
Well, not a bad play either. If you're getting hemmed into your zone, just get pucks out, relieve the pressure, and then go back at it.
Teresa Shopsall tipping in for Boston. The rookie Anna Shelvin carrying it out now for Montreal. Back and forth we go. Emma Greco had a brilliant defensive play that probably preserved this game right now. At this point, it would have been 3-1 with Montreal bearing down in a great chance earlier in the second.
On a huge play, and another nice play there just to dump that puck in, dump it in on goal. Get the offensive zone face-off. If you're not getting offensive zone time, this is a good way to try to start.
Katie Taven sends it around the net over to Claire Dalton. Boston trying to snap a 3-game slide. Still looking for its first win on the road. Shea Maloney tried to center the short side right in front. Puck is still loose. Davienne thought she had it. Dangerous play for Montreal. Now Alina Mueller in all alone. She'll stop up and wait for her teammates to join her. And Renee Dabienne, widely seen as one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie right now in the women's game.
Frankel will have something to say about that, that the two of them can battle.
And that's what makes this so fun. The goaltending in this league is unmatched. And it's part of the reason why great scorers like Alina Mueller are having a hard time getting on the score sheet.
Well, even when you see the backups are number ones in a lot of places.
That's a save by Davy, and the puck is still loose. She thought she had frozen it, looked behind her, and it was in the paint.
Well, I think she had that one. Then she looked behind her, and that's what shook it loose. And Boston with a couple chances, and this one comes off of a really good quick transition. That's what they're looking for, quick transition in the neutral zone. They get that puck into the slot. Davian makes the first save, and then it pops out. Again, coming off of a really quick neutral zone transition, lots of speed through the neutral zone. This one, Davian has this. She takes a look behind her. That's when she drops it.
That was Sydney Bard looking for her second of the season and nearly had it. Another one right on. Davian calmly steers to the side. Anna Wilgren breaking out for Montreal. Abby Boreen racing to catch up to the loose puck. Megan Keller got there first.
And that's exactly what Boston's looking for. That's just that quick chip into the zone. They've struggled with the breakout at times today. Both teams have.
Some feistiness in the corner, and we will get a penalty. Kayla Barnes a bit slow to get up there.
Well, just a couple feet away from the boards when she took that hit. Montreal is going to go back to the power play.
Boston, number 77, has 2 minutes for interference.
So Montreal, whose power play has already found some success here today, is going to get another chance. And Kayla Barnes takes that hit from Tapani, and you can see she's going for the puck. She doesn't have the puck yet, so yeah, the clear cut. That would be the definition, I think, of an interference call, Jamie.
Definitely interfered with. Montreal 1 for 2 on the power play so far today. This their third, as this power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Hannah Brandt trying to wreak havoc here shorthanded. Marie-Philippe Poulin says no. Centering pass from Poulin. A chance for Stacy. Save Frankel. Stacy gloves it down to herself. Right back in comes Jennifer Gardner. Erin Frankel has seen enough, decides to freeze that puck.
A wise decision. It looked like Montreal was going to create another opportunity. They had one really good look already off of this power play. Poulin, beautiful backhand pass. This one gets all the way through to Stacy. Frankel's got to come all the way across that crease to make this save. Stacy gets that one off quick. One of the skills in her game is that one-timer. We've often seen her on the flank on the power play, and she can be very dangerous from there.
You're right, that is her more natural spot on the power play, but as we mentioned earlier, Corey Chevry putting her net front, and it paid off with that power play goal earlier. Abby Boreen trying to make it happen. Kristen O'Neill just sent it wide.
And that's where Boreen can be dangerous too, and we saw that with Minnesota in the games that she got in last year. Of course, a reserve player when she was playing with Minnesota. She got into that first playoff series against Toronto, and just off the side on that power play is, I'd say, her strength.
Ooh, Abby Boreen tripped up right there. No call. The power play continues at 5-on-4. Erin Ambrose from the blue line. Slings it across. Murphy back to Ambrose. Hit a body on the way. Tabin scoops it up. Tabin working in, banks it along the board to Ambrose, who has to dive to keep it in. Puck eventually comes out to neutral ice.
We're talking about knowing the boards at the start of this game, and Tabin just a little too much mustard on that bank.
The ice still relatively fresh, just 5 minutes gone here into the final frame. Jamie Lee Rattray in shorthanded for Boston. Abby Boreen will now skate it up with Kayla Barnes. With speed off her backhand, trying to center for Boreen. Couldn't get the shot off, and the short side sealed off by Frankel. Barnes gets it back. Blocked by Bard. Couple of good looks for the Victoire there.
Well, they did, and again, coming off of another turnover, and they sound a bit like a broken record, but there's been a lot in this game, and Nobody has really had to pay a price for it yet. You got to think at some point, though, it's going to be costly.
Montreal able to get 3 shots on that power play, but none of them able to beat Frankel. Kayla Barnes, scoop it up in her own zone. Brant Mentis chops at it. Picked up Labella's shot, that's right on, but Frankel says no. Chances on both ends, but we stay in a 2-1 lead for the Montreal Victoire. So for the fourth time this afternoon, the Boston Fleet will go to the power play. This presented by Royale Tiger Towel. Make it 5th time. Corey Chevry also not a fan of the call.
Well, I'm going to say safe to say neither of them like this call, but I don't think you've ever argued a call and had it changed, so.
Good point. Boston with a 5-on-3 goal earlier to make it 2-1. Again, this power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Hannah Bilka skating into the circle. Toppany thought about taking it to the net, goes back to Bilka. Up high for Keller, top of the slot. Her shot deflects in! We're all tied up by a Boston Fleet goal.
That's Toppany net front. Boston does a nice job to work this puck down low and then zip it up top. So they bring the coverage all down low and they open up the Keller shot from the top. Keller's so good at break. They pull the coverage down. Keller with this shot. She's so good to get her head up and find the lane. Toppany is net front. Gets the tip on that puck. That's just a beautiful tip. Nice hand-eye. Sometimes I think that stems back from her ringette days. That hand-eye coordination. Very deadly net front. Nice little tip. Davian doesn't have a chance on that one.
I heard on the Johnson Jills podcast recently that Toppany didn't play hockey until she was 14 years old. That's incredible.
It is incredible and late, but I'll tell you what, those ringette players, it's the skating skill. So you can see that. Her skating is just beautiful. You've got to develop the puck skills later on, but the two definitely play one off the other. And the hand-eye coordination for a ringette player, and that will come in plays like that net front.
Toppany certainly had the hot hand lately. He scored 2 goals to force overtime against Minnesota on Thursday. Now has her 4th goal of the season and 3 in 2 games.
Oh yeah, she's riding the hot hand for sure, and some big goals for this team.
So we're all tied up here in the first stop of the Takeover Tour, treating the fans here in Seattle to the kind of evenly matched competition that we've come to expect on a nightly basis.
And it wouldn't be unexpected for these two teams to go to overtime. You watched them last year in the playoffs, 3 overtime games in a row and the triple overtime games, so they're used to it.
Even in the regular season, these two teams split their 4 meetings, 2-2.
There could be something here to the rivalry as we break this all down, the mystery of the rivalry.
You're saying Boston and Montreal have a rivalry? I think some NHL fans know plenty about that, with the original 6 NHL franchises going way back with their hatred of each other.
Well, and you can see where it stems. You got a 6-team league. There's rivalries everywhere.
Abby Boreen now gains his own for the Victoire. Sends it high and into the net. 6.5 to go here in the final frame, or will it be the final frame? We shall see if overtime is needed. Boston trying to snap a 3-game skid. Montreal trying to keep its 4-game winning streak alive and extending it to 5.
I think the big thing with Boston right now is that they start to grow their confidence, and the last game is definitely going to help, coming back, forcing overtime, and this is going to help them as well.
Sydney Morin played across to her D partner. They stretched up the ice. Mariah Keppel sends it back now for Erin Ambrose. She'll lead the charge for the Victoire, sending it deep into the corner.
Montreal playing a very simple game right now, and you can see exactly what it is that they're trying to do, which is get the red line and get pucks deep. Get them deep, establish your forecheck, and that eliminates the opportunity for some of those turnovers if you're getting pucks in below the goal line.
You can see Aaron Ambrose not happy about that icing call, though. Corey Chevry looking skyward.
It was awfully close to the red line.
Yeah, things have turned on their head a bit for Montreal, who had a 2-0 lead after the first period. It's coughed it up thanks to a special teams battle. We get a whistle, but we will step aside for a moment and sort it all out on the back end. The Boston Fleet tie it up on the power play. It's Toppany off a blast from Megan Keller. Boston continuing a lengthy road trip. They would love to celebrate a victory here today, something they have not been able to do on the road to this point in the season. Shelvin trying to break out. Turnover right in front of the net. Hillary Knight denied by Davian. Emma Greco. She has her shot bank off the end boards. What a good look for the Fleet captain. Davian was right there and saw it all the way. Now O'Neill trying to work in. Good stick by Pesheva. Right back comes Boston. Bilka back to Pesheva. Shea Maloney gains the zone now for the Fleet. Under 4 to play here in the third period. Will we see overtime in the first stop of this Takeover Tour? Emily Brown crunched along the boards. Morin still fighting for possession for Boston, trying to clear. A good forecheck by Montreal, but Boston will skate away with it. Alina Mueller gaining speed through the neutral zone. Has on her backhand, centering pass, and Sophie Shirley was tied up.
I like the attack. Shirley and Mueller, just two players that are creating speed through the neutral zone and to the net.
Battle at the red line. Comes out to Sydney Bard. She slings it across for Keller. Keller will send it deep. Cut off by Brandt. Brandt looking to center for Shopsall. Had it taken away by LaBelle. Abby Boreen now on a line with LaBelle. Turnover in the neutral zone. Shopsall still putting pressure on, but lost her stick. Now it's Rattray for Boston. Down low. Sends it off the side of the net. Toppany's stick tied up.
That's a great physical battle, Toppany and Poulin. But once again, it's another amount of zone time coming off of a turnover, and an unforced turnover too. Just a breakout, and Montreal tried to make a cross-ice pass. That pass is on the tape, and they're in with speed. Instead, it turns up back into their own zone. It gives Boston some opportunities.
Toppany will send it into the opposite corner as Katie Taven picks up the loose puck. Back and forth we go with under 2 to play now. Kristen O'Neill makes a move. Good stick by Brown.
I like that rim. That's one quick rim that beats 2 forecheckers. Boston's right out of the zone.
Toppany has Knight with her. Toppany looking to feed it to Knight. Goes high instead to Bard. Over to Keller. Keller takes a shot just wide of the net. Now Knight down low for Toppany. Has Mueller with her. Just out of the reach of her teammate, and Megan Keller will scoop it up at center ice.
Mueller with good body position in the neutral zone to win that battle. Sometimes when you're not putting pucks in the net, those are the little things you want to start to do well.
Back come the Victoire. Jennifer Gardner chasing it down low. More heavy hits coming.
Well, there's Sophie Shirley too. Good body position.
Right back in is Gardner. Laura Stacy. Poulin tries to glove it down and keep the play alive. Gardner crunched along the boards by Shea Maloney. Gardner looking to go up high, fanned on the pass. Here comes Jamie Lee Rattray. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Rattray shoots, save, Davian! The crowd showing its appreciation for that rush. Now Brown with a chance, stick aside.
Well, there is a 2-on-1, the great chance for Boston that ultimately leads to a penalty and a power play. They just don't use this advantage with enough speed. Rattray takes this shot. She's looking to make the pass. They enter the zone just a little too slow. It allows the back check to catch that second person in Maloney. Rattray takes the shot, but then ultimately it's the pressure and the zone time after that that leads to the penalty. Ultimately the power play and another chance for this fantastic power play. That hit along in the corner. She catches her at an awkward angle. Boston's PP will go back to work. Those 2-on-1s, they've got to be executed at speed.
Has a minor for boarding.
Well, that is exactly the player you do not want to go off the ice. If you're Montreal, Marie-Philippe Poulin, the heartbeat of this team and a valuable penalty killer, will now sit for 2 minutes. And there's just 12.5 seconds left in this third period. Boston wins the draw back to Bilka. Bilka across for Keller. They'll trade places. Bilka now from the right circle. Across the ice, and a save by Davian! The puck was still loose, but they blow it dead.
What a chance. 1.2 seconds left on the clock right now. And it looked like Boston was going to end this one in regulation, which how much do they desperately need those 3 points? This one goes across the seam. Kalki fires this back into the pads of Davian. If she had been able to just get that puck up, she would have had the entire net to shoot on. What a great save by Davian to get post to post and then keep that pad down, keep everything out.
We'll see what Boston can do in 1 second. Not much, so we will go to overtime. Welcome to the Takeover Tour. We get bonus hockey here, Becky.
And no surprise again with these two teams that it's going to go to overtime. And once again, Boston with the comeback. They have to be happy with that, but right now what they really need is to get a win for the points, but also for their confidence moving forward.
Absolutely.
I like extra hockey.
I do too. I think with a good luck charm.
Especially in the regular season when it's 3-on-3. There's nothing more exciting than 3-on-3 hockey, or 4-on-3 as the case may be to start.
4-on-3 for now with the Boston power play. They've converted twice so far today for both of their goals. Shots are dead even at 23 apiece. The best player in the world sits in the box for another minute and a half.
Well, and so good defensively, too. And she really is a fantastic penalty killer.
Megan Keller will lead the charge up for the Fleet. Hands it off to Hillary Knight. Back for Keller. Keller going cross ice for Toppany. Keller makes a move. Across now for Knight. She trades places with Toppany. Knight from the left circle has Bilka net front. Keller, top of the slot. Back for Knight. Keller to Knight. Knight just missed.
Well, that was a little pass trying to get the penalty kill to move. And they're too stationary. The penalty kill doesn't move.
1 minute gone on the advantage. This power play brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Hillary Knight back up high now for Keller. Over to Knight. Knight takes a shot, fought off by Davian. Short-handed comes Laura Stacey. Stacey has Keller beat. Stacey makes a move. Erin Frankel saved it, but it's set on the goal line. My goodness. Right back comes Toppany. Still time on the Fleet power play. Warren over to Bilka, trying to go to Knight. Laura Stacey stick to the side. Hannah Bilka, already a goal here today. That shot, and into the glove momentarily of Davian. Montreal will get a clear.
What a deceptive pass. Bilka looks one way and finds that seam the other way.
Montreal has hit 2 posts here today and had that puck just sitting on the goal line. We are back to full strength. Momentarily, it's 4-on-4. And now Mueller skating in. Thought about the wraparound. Poulin sends it in. Dalton will skate a 4-on-4 until a whistle.
Well, Montreal had to be careful at the bench. Puck comes up by the bench as they're making a change.
No time for another penalty at this stage of the game. Kristen O'Neill has Stacy with her. Chopped down by Pesheva. It's Hannah Brandt. 2-on-1. Hannah Brandt has Rattray with her. Brandt shot saved by Davian.
Chances at both ends of the ice, but Montreal has had the best one. Laura Stacey with a burst of speed, and I don't think Megan Keller expected this amount. Of course, Laura Stacey, you know she's fast, but she turns it on. Keller turns, can't keep with her as Stacey cuts to the net. Looks like maybe she has the 5-hole, but this puck just does not find its way all the way across the goal line. Boston comes back down the ice with a chance of their own. This is a 2-on-1 shot. Rebound, Davian stands strong.
Right now, shots are 5-1 in favor of the Fleet here in this overtime session. Makes sense due to the advantage. But now here comes Montreal. Claire Dalton racing ahead. Has Ambrose with her, streaking toward the net. Couldn't connect.
I love that attack with speed, and Poulin had Toppany all over her and is still able to make the pass to create that net drive.
We're back to 3-on-3. Laura Stacey walking in, shoots it high and off the glass. Shea Maloney feeds Toppany. Boston going for a partial change. Toppany down low, looking for help. Found the stick of Gardner, and here comes Montreal. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Kayla Barnes working in, shot saved by Frankel.
Frankel had to be strong on that, keep that one in her gloves. Laura Stacey barrels in to the net. And of course, Stacey, who was the hero in the overtime game against Toronto. Stacey's coming in hard. Frankel holds on to this one. That's 2 really dangerous players on this 2-on-1.
It's Marie-Philippe Poulin on to take the draw against Toppany, who wins it back for Boston. Toppany going cross ice for Mueller. Mueller gains the zone, has Toppany with her, hands it off to Toppany. Toppany going behind the net. Now Bard takes a shot, kicked out by Davian. Bard able to hold the zone, decides she'll take it out to neutral ice to regroup for Boston. Final 30 seconds here in overtime. Megan Keller back on the ice for the Fleet. Mueller winds up and fires, rebound chance, and Davian stands tall.
Mueller got a lot on that shot too. That was a nice shot.
Hillary Knight. 10 seconds to go in overtime. Keller over to Knight. Knight looking for a tip. Toppany. And the horn sounds on overtime. We will go to a shootout.
A shootout with 2 of the best goalies in the world at either end of the ice. So who's going to be able to come through? The better shooter, the better goalie.
Different styles.
Very different styles. And for reasons. You look at Erin Frankel, and she's a smaller goaltender, so she's got to come out and she's got to be aggressive.
Well, here comes Hannah Brandt. Streaking down the left side. Takes a shot and scores!
Hannah Brandt makes no mistake about this one, and looked like maybe we were going to see another post in this game. But the official is right there, says no, this one went in, and she just fires. No moves, just fires. Top shelf. Whew. In and out in a hurry.
Where mama keeps the cookies, right?
And sometimes I think we overthink a shootout. Try to make too many moves, and coming in and just shooting sometimes is the best thing you can do.
Marie-Philippe Poulin on the ice to try to answer now for the victoire. Going down the right side, stick handling in and scores! What a beauty!
Well, I like this move as a left-handed shooter. You come in wide at this angle. You see if the goaltender's going to leave you any space. If she doesn't, it's a little bit of a fake, hold, and step around.
The other captain, Hillary Knight, on to take her turn in the shootout. Hillary Knight has it on her backhand, goes forehand, and is stopped by Davian.
Hillary Knight tries the change of pace as she comes in at an angle as well, then slows down to take the puck to the middle of the ice. And sometimes when you do that, you push the goaltender back further in the crease. You open up a little bit more for the shot.
Michaela Grant-Mentis on for the victoire. Trying to get in the lead here in the shootout. Grant-Mentis lost the puck. Looked like Franco went for the poke check and disrupted the whole play.
It looked like she was trying to do the same thing that Poulin had done. She just got in a little too tight. Franco comes out aggressively with that poke check. Takes the puck away.
Hannah Bilka, the rookie phenom for the Fleet. She'll go down the left side, gaining speed off her backhand, roofs it.
Oh, there's a beautiful goal, and I like the word she came in with speed. She put the goaltender under more pressure as she comes in. The key to this one, too, is that she is able to get that puck up and under the crossbar. Davian was taking away the bottom portion of the net.
Round 3 now for the victoire. It's Erin Ambrose, reigning PWHL Defender of the Year. Skates in, shoots, turned aside by Frankel.
Looked like she was going to try to do the same thing. Just go up and over top of that glove. We've seen that play before, that move before, come in at the angle, right-handed shooter. For a righty, a lot of times you get the goaltender to drop the glove as you come in. You're trying to put it up and over the glove.
Susanna Toppany, a goal here today to tie it. Looking to give the Fleet the edge here in the shootout, and scores!
Well, nice move, nice and patient too, to fake the shot and then wait till you've got the net, fake the shot, get the goaltender to go down, and then she waits, puts it upstairs.
Look at the reaction by the Fleet bench. She waited till the last possible second, and now Laura Stacey, with a game on her stick, has to score to keep her team alive, and miss the net. The Boston Fleet win it in a shootout.
I think there's a little bit of celebration in this and a big sigh of relief to finally get back in the win column for the Boston Fleet.
Once again, our final score, 3-2 Boston Fleet over the Montreal Victoire from Climate Pledge Arena here in downtown Seattle. For Becky Keller, Chantel Shand, and our entire wonderful crew behind the scenes, I'm Jamie Hirsch saying thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.